Adam explains his weakness. Having heard this, Seth's eyes were opened, and so were those of all the others. For now they understood what Enoch had wanted to say, and were satisfied that at least Enoch comprehended the things which were so totally incomprehensible to them. And they praised and glorified me deep within their simple hearts for having endowed a man with so much wisdom for their benefit, shown him things from the heights as well as the depths, and let their hidden meaning be revealed for the spiritual benefit of those who sought me in true love. Nota bene, you have also been given many and far greater things, but none of you has as yet come to me in the depth of his heart to glorify and praise me in true love, boundlessly happy about this great and now so abundant grace flowing to you, and secretly longing for the consecration of the servant who has to be an instrument of my grace for little more reward than that for which every one of you shall serve me in true love. Only one have I awakened for you to be a fool before the world, so that you may be raised to great glory before the angels, and this one is my poor weak servant. J. Lorber, the publisher. A fool who came to you long ago from the country. He was for a long time among you, and no one noticed that he is a fool before the world. But the fool sought me, and I allowed him to find me, and awakened him before your eyes to become a beast of burden to you, and bring you a new bread of love from the heavens, which is a true bread, since it gives and demands love. When this beast of burden is on Zion, on a boggy road, you approach him and take greedily bread from his basket, but you take no notice of his feet, which usually, because of you, are up to the ankles in sticky clay. But I tell you that if you enjoy the bread and the water of life, do not let the good-natured beast of burden remain stuck. Whoever is able to do it, let him free his feet from the mud, unnoticed by the world. Otherwise, if he should remain with you, his feet will gradually become weak from fear, so that he will hardly be able to carry bread for you, except I myself free him. But then I shall also lead him where I want him to be. In that case, I will not leave him with you, for although I have still many children, there are only few among them who would let themselves be used as fools. For it is better and easier to eat the bread when it is already prepared, but much harder to have oneself for love harnessed to the flow as a beast of burden for a small reward. Do heed this and glorify and praise me in your obedience. The one among you who will do something about it shall never lose a penny, and in due course he will be recompensed temporally and eternally. The servant will tell the one who wishes to help wherein his feet have got stuck. Amen. When all had for about an hour glorified and praised me, Seth rose again, told the others to do the same, and said, Children, our dear Enoch has with a visible grace from above lifted heavy burdens from our oppressed hearts and thrown them forcefully into a boundless depth of delight and bliss. God, our most holy and best Father, be forever glorified and praised for this. However, as Enoch was given this for our sake because of his great humility before God and the brothers, and he has faithfully passed on to us without the least reservation all that he has received. And we are now happy and are praising God, our most holy Father. I think that in our love and joy we should not forget Enoch, since he has become a favorite of God. How could he not be ours as well? Although we are aware that all he told us comes only from above, I still think while we must respect the spot upon which our dear father Adam and our mother Eve have tread, that it would be important not to ignore the mouth through which God himself has spoken to our hearts. O children, let us take dear Enoch into our midst, and let him no longer till the meager earth for his daily bread, but since God our most holy Father has in his boundless love graciously made him into a cultivate for of our hearts so weak in love, let us work the land for him through our many other sons and daughters, who all have strong limbs, but all the weaker hearts. You, dear Enoch, will take willingly and gratefully what your fathers want to give you because of their gratitude towards God, so you can work our hearts very much to the holiest desire of God. And now, children, follow me into my hut, and let us strengthen our bodies with food and drink, in the name of our most holy Father. And then our dear Enoch may speak to us once more about love. Amen. 26 November 1840. When Seth had enjoined this on his children, they all walked towards his hut, which was situated near the one of Adam. Arrived there, they all bowed first to the hut of Adam, and only then to Seth's hut. They paid a brief call to the Archpatriarch and Archmother, and had Adam bless them before the meal. This was done daily for those who were present, and a general free blessing was spoken for the absent ones. When they wanted to leave, respectfully and extremely gratefully, Adam spoke to them, deeply moved and with an already weak and touching voice. Dear children, and you, my most beloved son, Abel said, I, your father Adam, have now blessed you, and you are on your way to invigorate your limbs with food and drink, which is of course the right thing to do. But behold, I have become already very old and weak, and as Mother Eve, and can no longer work, as my limbs no longer serve me. You know that I have still worked all the time, and I don't want anyone else to work for me, so as to set a good example. However, today I was no longer able to do it. When all of you were unable to work, I, your father, worked for you with the gracious help of a great Holy Father, but now I cannot do it any longer. Children, I am hungry and thirsty. When you have eaten your fill, do think with a small refreshment also of your old father and mother, and give me too something to eat and drink, and henceforth do keep us in your care. And what you do to us, your parents, do that out of love, so that the offered food may be enjoyable and not taste hard and bitter to your old and weak parents. You will not have long to endure this small burden, as I, your weak father, will not dwell much longer in this hut, always blessing you, but shall leave it forever and go to dwell in another one where Abel has gone. Therefore you should gladly look after me, your old weak father, and also after your mother, while we are still among you. For in a few years, which will have passed soon, you will sadly seek the one who now in his helpless weakness is asking you for food and drink, but his hut will no longer be found on the vast earth. Now, dear children, go with God's blessing and strengthen your limbs, but do not forget your old weak father and mother. Amen. When the good children had heard these words of Adam, they were so moved in their soft hearts that they all began to weep aloud, and could not calm down for a long time. But finally Seth rose and spoke, deeply moved. Father, children, as long as the earth exists and heaven with its stars, the moon and the sun surrounds it, such a holy word has never been spoken by the mouth of man as the one which I, after Adam, the father of all of you, shall now speak. I say, let all the stars fall from heaven, and sun and moon be deprived of their light forever. Let all seas, lakes, and rivers dry out completely, and the entire earth turn to stone. Let all this happen rather than that we eat a morsel before our father Adam and our mother Eve have sufficiently satisfied their hunger at any time of the day. O father and mother, you already know how happy I used to be when you were willing to accept something from me in the days of your strength. So my joy is all the greater that you do need our care, and I thus have the blessed opportunity of repaying with my greatest love at least the tiniest part of my very great debt to you, O Father and Mother. For all your great kindness, O Father and Mother, accept us graciously and remain among us with your blessings to the end of time. And you, Enos and Canaan, hurry to my hut and fetch the best food and the freshest drink, and tell my wife, Jeha, your mother, that her father Adam and her mother Eve are hungry and thirsty, and bring her here that she too may promise what I have now promised sacredly in the face of God. Now go and return immediately. Amen, amen, amen.